Is it possible that either Kong or a member of his species may be able to harness similar radiation and electric abilities similar to that of the Gojira? And has this actually happened before? One of the things that sets Godzilla apart from the other titans is his ability to absorb and utilize different forms of radiation or energy, which has turned the tide in several fights that he's been a part of. So far, this is an ability that seems to be almost exclusive to Gojira, and the Kong may have been able to use this energy in the form of artificial weaponry, but they do not have any sort of intrinsic ability to use it themselves. Right now, the only other titan we know of with significant lightning-based powers is Ghidorah, but there are a few details that set Ghidorah apart as well. Since Ghidorah is not a part of the natural titan ecosystem, he's something of an outlier. But Kong, though, has never seemed to demonstrate an ability similar to this. And this ability that has set the Gojira apart and made them so formidable is something that appears to be only that Godzilla can do. But is this really the case? Well, fellow heralds of the Titans, let's explore the story of Kong's electric abilities and explain how that can be translated into the monsterverse, and see if there are any hints that this is being set up. In the original Toho series, Kong is in the midst of a fight with Godzilla, and more specifically, he was on the wrong end of the utter beatdown. Once he was able to escape though, he was struck by lightning, which empowered Kong to a degree that we had not seen up until this point, strengthening him to the point where he could now fully contend with Godzilla. His physical power was heightened, as his mere speed and reflexes also increased. But Kong also developed an array of electric-based abilities that he could use in his subsequent battles with the King of the Monsters. This set Kong up for success, and even the playing field with Godzilla. He was able to strike Godzilla with bolts of his own lightning, and this became something of a core weakness for Goji. This proved to be exactly the power-up that Kong needed in order to finally face down and go toe-to-toe with Godzilla. In the Monsterverse, Kong himself has not demonstrated any sort of electric power so far, but he has already had substitution for these powers. In the movie, much like in the original Toho films, Kong wasn't able to beat Godzilla in a one-on-one fight, at least not without a boost in power. So in the Monsterverse, an axe one of his ancestors made in the Hollow Earth took the place of the electricity power. Rather than being supercharged directly, his ancestors were able to use the dorsal plates of a fallen Gojira to create an axe, one that evened the playing field. While we probably won't see Kong throw lightning punches in the Monsterverse, we do know that he is going to get an upgrade in Godzilla X Kong, which might prove to be another artificial substitute. In the trailers, we see a distinct yellow gauntlet which has been developed by Monarch in order to give Kong an edge. Right now, we don't know for sure if the gauntlet will have electric abilities, but it wouldn't be the most surprising turn of events. After all, Apex was already able to power an entire Mechagodzilla unit with the energy from the Hollow Earth. So arming Kong with a gauntlet that has energy-based abilities is perfectly within reason for the Monsterverse. So while the combination of the axe and the gauntlet seems to negate Kong's need for this power, are there perhaps other members of Kong's species who stand to receive some sort of upgrade similar to electric abilities? Specifically, is it possible that the Scar King is able to harness some sort of energy and base power system in much the same way as Godzilla can? And could this be what makes the Scar King so formidable? The evidence that suggests this is one key detail that sets the Scar King apart from the other Kongs. While we spent the most time with Kong, we do see a collection of other Kongs in the New Empire, and among all of them, the Scar King is the only Titanus Kong with glowing eyes. Not only does he have this distinct difference, but we have reason to believe that he already has abilities which are specific to him and no other Kong. It has been long believed that Shimo's involvement in the upcoming war is not of her own accord, but instead that the Scar King is doing something to manipulate Shimo. If this is the case, then the Scar King might already be demonstrating various psychic abilities, and this might be powered by an energy supply that seemingly only he has access to right now. Right now, we don't know that radiation is the source of strength among all of the Titans, and is the initial reason why they were able to grow to these titanic sizes. Millions of years ago, the surface of the Earth was far more radioactive than it is now, and once the radiation levels died down, many of the surviving Titans burrowed into the depths of the Earth. Down here, they sought a new source of energy, which we can find saturating the tunnels of the Hollow Earth now, and it seems that this new form of energy is where the Scar King gets his powers. After all, he has been down in the Hollow Earth for eons, but then again, so too have most of the other Kongs. So far, we don't currently know what might be setting the Scar King apart from the rest of them, or how deep his power set might go, but this may explain why he is such a fearsome threat to the rest of the surface world, and why so many of these other Kongs respect him or fear him so fiercely. Right now, we don't see any evidence that he has physical electric abilities, and we actually see him go toe-to-toe with Kong in physical combat. In the fight, they stick to physical weaponry, and the Scar King never shows any sort of energy-based enhancements. This seems to indicate, at least for at this point in time, his powers don't go anywhere beyond telepathic abilities. But if the Scar King survives, then he might have more potential than any other Kong that we've seen so far, and this may be the very first step, and could point to the fact that the Kong too have this energy absorption ability. His ability to use energy could potentially grow to the point of rivaling Godzilla if we are basing this off of Electric Kong's displays. And there could be something hidden deep within Kong himself, which could allow him to attain these abilities someday or another. We know that Godzilla has the ability to absorb electricity and even produce electricity from his body. So, if the Scar King is one of the first Kongs to show an ability to absorb energy himself, is it possible that Kong could also one day inherit these abilities? Will Kong's display of artificial substitutes make up for this in the Toho canon? Or is King Kong about to get a major boost? One that is pioneered earlier by Scar King of the same species. But anyway, my friends, what are your thoughts on this? And do you think Kong will inherit some sort of special ability as the Monsterverse continues? Or will he be solely powered by artificial means in the future? Thank you so much as always for watching, my friends. Hit that subscribe button, and I hope you're having an amazing day.